Party is over, and Sarah's mother is trying to persuade Sarah and her 6 prospective bridesmaids to retire to bed.
To bed with a lot of you?
Oh, not yet. Just 10 minutes more.
Very well. 10 minutes then and no more. Sarah, come into my room and say good night.
Yes, Mother.
Good
night,
night.
Good night. Let's play a game. Yes, what game? No, that would be none of us going out.
How, when, and where?
How does that? Let's play an exciting game, a noisy game.
Violet will hear.
No, she won't. She's too floors up. Blind man, stop. Yes. There's that to do. Hold me.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We must have eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Catch a nigger by his toe.
If he hollers, let him go.
Oh, you tease us out and so.
Out goes she. Out goes me. This is the loveliest part of the party. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Catch a nigger by his toe.
If he hollers, let him go.
Oh, you tease us out and so.
Out goes she. Out goes me.
Don't be afraid.
If he hollers, let him go.
Oh, you tease us out and so. This is the loveliest part of the party.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a nigger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Out goes she. Out goes me.
This is the loveliest part of the party. Only 3 of them left now. We're excited to see who is going to be bride and who is going to be.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, out goes she. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, out goes me. It's me, I'm a he.
Just get a handkerchief and bind it around her eye.
Not too tight, not too tight.
She mustn't see a thing, no matter how much she tries.
That's all right.
She will cheat if she can. That corner's place to be. Tell her off if she stays to be. Are you ready now? 1, 2. wrong with you. We can see nothing wrong with you. We want to play.
Sarah pulls the bandage down over both eyes and starts to play. They all dance about and dodge her.
Carl has returned to his music and is on his way out when Sarah clasps him round the neck. He is staggered for a moment, drops his music, and then, completely losing all restraint, kisses her passionately.
She snatches the bandage from her eyes and stares into his face. All the other girls are watching aghast.
It's you I love. Now and always.
Sarah, don't be silly. Sarah.
Come with me.
Now?
Yes, now. Tonight.
I'll come with you wherever you want me to.
I love you, do you hear? I've loved you for months, for years, really. Ever since I was a little boy, I've known you were waiting for me somewhere. I'll take care of you, live for you, die for you.
Don't say that, my love. Should happiness forsake me, and this illusion break me, of what may lead the way, take me, take me. Oh, I'm famous now, love crucifies the law. Whatever fate has in store, my heart is yours forevermore.
Oh, lady, you are far above me, and yet you whisper that you love me. Can it be true, or is it just some foolish dream?
No, it's true. Look into my eyes. Can't you see?
Oh, my dear, dear love. Now, though your tears are sleeping, look well before the leaping. Love of me may be repaid by weeping. Life can be better learning when there is no returning. Whatever fate has in store, my heart is yours forevermore. I love you, I love you, I
Nothing to say. Don't break the yourself. Please go away.
Now leave all this to me, my dear. Leave it to absurd. It's quite the most romantic thing that I have ever heard. Effie, be quiet.
Sarah kisses him again, full on the mouth. Harriet drags him apart.
Sarah, are you mad? Mr. Linden, please go at once.
How can I go?
Harriet, leave this to me.
Stop. Don't say another word. It's the most wonderfully thrilling thing that ever happened in the world.
Don't be an idiot, Effie.
Effie's right, Harriet.
I'm going straight upstairs to fetch Aunt Viola.
You shan't, you shan't. They love each other. Look at them. Honor Victoria Jane, help me.
I'll see you again whenever spring breaks through again. I'll always be by your side. No time or tide can part us ever.
Someone's coming. Hide, quickly.
The girls peep out to see if the coast is clear, and finding that it is, all return to the room.
They won't come now, and no fear.
Sarah's mother may be near. If she should hear, she might hear on the cross with us. Elderly people make so much fuss. Always insist on a chaperone. Never leave love alone.
I'm frightened. Oh, my dear, please come, my dear.
I give my heart a security. I shall be living my life anew, loving you, loving you.
looking for you to be so compromised. So dreadfully compromised.
Harriet, whatever you do won't be the slightest use. I love Carl. I'm going with him. I don't care where or how. But this is my life, you understand? My whole life. So help me, all of you. Please, please.
Think of you. Sarah, you're mad.
Perhaps I am mad, but I'm happy. Can't you see? I'm really happy.
Mr. Lyndon, I appeal to you. It's no use, Harriet. I feel as if I were in a dream.
You are?
What are your prospects? Have you any money?
None. No money, but I can earn enough.
So can I. I'll sing.
Sarah.
Yes, Sarah will sing and I will play and we will make a living. Come, Sarah.
Oh, like this? Quickly, Gloria. Your bedroom is near. Your hat. Take.
Make a fire behind you. Let hate may find you. Let love may find you. In joy or strife. For fate may cheat you and defeat you. Your youth must answer to the call.
We follow the young lovers to Vienna. The year is 1880, 5 years after their elopement. Things have not gone too well, but they are still passionately in love. Carl is now leader of the band in a not too reputable cafe where Sally is engaged as a professional dancing partner. And when we meet Carl again, he is perched on a rostrum in his shirt sleeves, rehearsing his 5-piece band and a number to be sung that evening by Manon, a rather passive but big-hearted cabaret artist who is in love with Carl, although she realizes it is hopeless.
Now, boys, please. When you take the first refrain, bring it out.
Oh, no, Carl. It must be quicker there. It starts so. Lorsque j'étais petite fille en marchant parmi les traits.
Oh, very well.
Staccato.
Very well.
Oh, no. Oh, you are so stubborn.
Stubborn?
Yes, and you know nothing about singers, especially when they have no voice like me.
Oh, you have a beautiful voice, Manon.
Oh, now you're being earnest and sincere. It's so many years since I saw that solemn look in your eyes.
Well, you can't expect me to pay you compliments when you try to quarrel with me.
I quarrel? Don't be a fool.
It's you who are the fool.
Oh, no, Carl, no. I was once, but I'm not anymore.
What do you mean?
Where is Sari, your little English Sarah?
Oh, you do hate her, don't you?
Passionately. I would like to scratch her eyes, that poor nose off and wring her neck.
Oh, Manon.
Oh, in a friendly way.
Now, don't laugh like that.
You used to love my laughter. It was so gay and charming, you said.
Oh,
Carl.
Please go away now.
Well, I was only teasing you and irritating you because I'm jealous.
But Manon.
Oh, don't protest and say I have no right to be jealous. I know that. Ours was such a silly little affair, really. And so long ago. But somehow it was very sweet. And it left a small sting here.
It was your fault that it ended.
Oh, I know that too, and I'm glad. I was very proud of myself for finishing it all suddenly like that. Because it was for the best. I'm no good for you, really. Not faithful enough. Oh, go back to your work. I'll run through my words here.
But Manon, you can't.
Please play my music for me. I'm not sure of it yet. I'm not sure of anything.
The second part of Bittersweet will be broadcast from this station shortly.
Tis time that we were parted, you and I. I'm broken-hearted. Tis goodbye. My love has ended, and darkness has descended. I call to you with one last cry. Kiss me before you go away. Miss me through every night and day. Mockers and
The dancing continues. Captain Luther crosses to Sari's table.
Fräulein Sari has perhaps by now forgotten her other engagement.
You are quite right, Captain. She has forgotten.
Captain August, I'm very tired. Will you please forgive me just this once?
One dance, please.
I think you would be well advised to grant Captain Augustus' request.
Certainly, Captain. I shall be charmed.
She gives one despairing look at Carl on the dais. He is watching anxiously. Then she surrenders herself to the captain's arms, and they begin to waltz.
Carl watches all the time. As the dance progresses, the captain is obviously becoming more and more aggressively amorous. Carl, with obvious agitation, perceptibly quickens the tempo of the music. Finally, the captain waltzes Sari into the center of the floor, stops dead, tightens his arms round her, and kisses her on the mouth passionately.
She gives one cry. Carl stops the music with a crash. He leaps over the railing of the dais onto the middle of the floor.
He drags Sari away from the captain, then springing at him, strikes him in the face. Manon stands by and watches apprehensively.
Swine. Ill-mannered, drunken swine.
Carl, don't be a fool.
Ha! Kranich, look after our foolhardy young friend here, will you?
Not now, wait.
I regret. I cannot wait.
Kranich takes two of the swords hanging on the wall. He gives one to Carl and one to Luther.
Stand back, Manon. Look after Sari, please.
On guard!
Oh.
I love you always. Always. Do you hear?
Sari. My sweet. Sari.
Oh, Carl.
The absolute silence is only broken after Carl dies by the heart-rending sobbing of Manon. Time passes, and we find ourselves in the Marquis of Shane's house in Grosvenor Square. The year is 1895, exactly 20 years since Sari eloped with Carl Lyndon. Lord Shane, a devoted admirer of Sari Lyndon, now a famous continental singer, has followed her from capital to capital, hoping she would, in spite of several refusals, ultimately accept his proposal to become his wife.
A large and important gathering is assembled to meet her. Amongst them is the Honourable Hugh Devon, from whom she ran away years ago. Lord Shane is in the midst of receiving his brilliant company of guests when the butler announces,
Madam Sari Lyndon.
And Sari enters the room, exquisitely gowned and radiantly beautiful. Lord Shane greets her.
My dear, how enchanting to see you again. I think you know everyone here.
Sarah, we heard that you had died ages and ages ago.
I did die, 15 years ago to be exact. Things happened, I couldn't come back. I didn't want to come back, so I thought I'd better die. Vaguely and obscurely. It was the only thing left to do. It sort of rounded everything off so satisfactorily.
It's unbelievable, Sarah, dear Sarah.
Please don't be quite so pleased to see me. It makes me feel so ashamed. Particularly with you standing there looking so stern. How do you do, Hugh?
I'm delighted to see you again. Margaret, I want you to meet Sarah... Sarah...
Lyndon. Don't say you've forgotten Carl Lyndon, the man I eloped with, practically under your very nose, Hugh.
No, I remember perfectly. How is he?
He's dead.
And, my dear, you will sing for us, won't you?
Lord Shane conducts Sari to the piano.
Has your piano been tuned for me? I don't trust your English pianos.
I want to talk to you.
I know.
You can guess what I'm going to say.
Yes, I think so.
I love you.
I was right.
Will you honor me by becoming my wife? You've now refused me in practically every capital in Europe. London is last on the list.
Why should London prove the exception?
It's home.
Yes, I suppose it is.
It has charm, London, a very peaceful charm. particularly for anyone who is tired like you. You can drive in the park in the spring and look at the crocuses.
Please don't talk of spring.
Then there's the autumn, when the leaves fall in the square, and you can sit on a rickety iron chair and watch the children picking up horse chestnuts.
Whose children?
And just anybody's.
Fogs come in November.
Fogs can be delightful.
Can they?
Particularly when you're warm and snug by a crackly fire, drinking tea, while from the yellow gloom outside the trees look in at you like ghosts.
I don't like tea or ghosts.
You're very hard to please.
How did you know I was tired?
By your voice and your eyes.
I'm afraid I don't love you, actually. I think you're kind and understanding and gay and very dear. But you know, I've only really loved one man all my life. I know it's tiresome to be so faithful, particularly to a mere memory, but there it is.
I think perhaps I could make you happy. Anyhow, happier.
May I think it over a little? I'll let you know a little later. Definitely.
The guests re-enter from the supper room.
Sarah, aren't you going to sing soon?
Do you remember our singing lessons at Madame Claire's before you met Carl Linden? I mean, oh dear.
I remember. I do hope my voice has improved since then.
Silence, please. Madame Sari Linden will sing us some of Carl Linden's enchanting songs. The songs she's made so famous.
Well, now, where's my cutist? Is he here?
Here I am.
Now, what shall we start with?
The river song?
No. That's much too difficult to begin with.
Zigeuner.
Yes, that'll do. Ladies and gentlemen, this song needs a slight preface. My husband wrote it when he was only 16. He visited Germany for the first time and sailed down the Rhine past forests and castles and gypsy encampments. They so fired his imagination that he wrote this song of a lovely flaxen-haired German princess who fell in love with a Zigeuner. Gypsy.
Once upon a time, many years ago, lived a fair princess hating to confess loneliness was torturing her so. Then a gypsy came, called her by name, would with a song said to us a throng, all the summer long her passion seemed to tremble like a living flame. Play to me beneath the summer moon, Zigeuner, Zigeuner, Zigeuner. All I ask of life is just to listen to the songs that you sing. My spirit like a bird on the wing, your melody adoring, soaring. Call to me with some romantic tune, Zigeuner, Zigeuner, Zigeuner. Now you have in your power, play to me for just an hour, Zigeuner.
This is a very simple, sentimental little song. I do hope you won't laugh at it. It means a very great deal to me.
Sari unpins a bunch of white violets from her waist and throws them to Lord Shane, signifying her acceptance of his proposal.
I'll see you again. I live each moment through again. Time has lain heavy between, but what has been can leave me
scene fades as a vision. The sorry story is ended.
You have been listening to Noel Coward's Bittersweet. Those taking part were Dolly, Muriel Forbes, Lord Henry Jekyll, Robert Rearty, Vincent Howard, Richard Herndl, Mrs. Millick, Winifred Davis, Lieutenant Tranish, John Duncan, Captain Auguste Luther, Austin Trevor, Marquis of Shane, Frank Sellier, Herr Schlick, Charles Mortimer, Manon, Betty Huntley Wright, Carl Linden, Bruce Carfax, and Sari, Evelyn Lay. The narrators were Gillian Lind and Jack Melford. The court